At the Information and Communications University, we're not just educating students, we're shaping the future of Zambia and beyond. With a global perspective, ICU offers cutting-edge programs in information technology, business, humanities, engineering, and education. We combine theory with practical skills, ensuring our graduates are ready for the job market.
Whether full-time or distance learning, our flexible programs cater to the needs of every student, creating pathways for success. ICU is driven by innovation, research, and entrepreneurship.
We empower our students to be leaders and change makers in their industries.
Through strategic global partnership, including collaboration with leading universities such as St. Petersburg State University and others, we give our students a competitive edge on the global stage.
Our graduates don't just earn degrees, they create impact. They are leading the way in ICT, business, engineering, and more, both locally and internationally. Join the Information and Communications University, where your future begins today.
Hello, and welcome to ICU. It's a brand new academic year of 2025. As a Dean of Students, I'm here to ensure that your experience at ICU not only academically fulfilling, but also enriching on a personal level. University life is a time of tremendous growth, filled with opportunities to build lifelong friendships, to discover your passions, and to develop skills that will serve you beyond your classroom. Here at ICU, we emphasize community and inclusivity and also support for every student. Remember that my office is here to assist you with any of your concerns. Now, whether related to student affairs, student welfare, extracurricular activities, or personal challenges, do not hesitate. We are here to reach out, and we are here to listen, and will help you. Get involved with student organizations, sports, and campus events, and make sure you make the most out of your time here at ICU. This is your chance to create memories and experiences, and that they will last a lifetime. Once again, I welcome you to the mighty family of ICU, and I wish you great success, inspiring and joyful academic year. Thank you.
Good evening, thank you for joining us today. I am Chief Gracie and this is your Icu Tv News Bulletin. Let's take a quick look at the stories making headlines. 4 nabbed in Mansa for alleged possession of counterfeit currency. Vice President Nalumango voices concern over persistent poverty amid GDP growth. Higher Bus donates 100,000 to 2024 Zambia Annual Sports Award. Dozens of white South Africans arrive in US under Trump refugee plan. IPL to resume on Saturday after suspension. And now, the details. Authorities in Mansa, Luapula Province, have apprehended 4 individuals in connection with suspected possession of counterfeit money. According to Luapula Province Police Commissioner Mwala Yuli, the suspects were allegedly found in possession of counterfeit 100 kwacha notes amounting to 59,000 kwacha along with 4,400 United States dollars in fake currency. Mr. Yuyu further reveals that the officials also seized printing materials and ink believed to have been used in production of the counterfeit notes. The suspects remain in custody as investigations continue. More details in the following report.
All residents of Mansa district were found in possession of both counterfeit Zambian kwacha and US dollar notes. It was established that Clever Chilambe and Gerald Rwando hired Innocent Chomba for a motorcycle ride from Mansa to Kundafum. Upon reaching the village, the suspects offered to pay the rider 500 kwacha via mobile money and led him to a mobile money booth operated by male Gift Mwewa, aged 32, also of Kundamfum village. The suspects deposited a 1,000 kwacha comprising of counterfeit 200 kwacha notes into Mwewa's account. So shortly after the transaction, Mr. Mwewa noticed the notes were counterfeit and pursued the suspects, finding them attempting another transaction at a different booth.
Vice President Mutale Nalumango has expressed concern over Zambia's persistently high poverty levels despite recent gains in gross domestic product (GDP). Speaking at the Regional Poverty Reduction and Climate Resilience Conference in Lusaka, Mrs. Nalumango acknowledged that while the economy has shown positive growth, the benefits have not translated into improved living standards for many citizens, particularly in rural areas. She also pointed to Zambia's untapped economic potential, suggesting that with the right approach, the country can reduce poverty more effectively. Minister of Community Development and Social Services, Doreen Mwamba, added that the conference aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals 1 and 2 aimed at eradicating poverty and hunger. The event has brought together national and international stakeholders to craft strategies that also strengthen climate resilience. British High Commissioner to Zambia, Rebecca Terizion, highlighted the importance of the conference outcomes, noting that they will contribute to Zambia's ninth development plan and discussions at the upcoming G20 summit in Qatar. She praises the New Dawn administration's commitment to social protection and reiterated that UK's continued support for poverty reduction efforts. Zambia's ongoing debt distress has exacerbated poverty, with experts urging the government to pursue an inclusive development model that addresses growing inequalities and promotes long-term sustainability. Higher Bus General Manager Wu Ming has donated 100,000 kwacha towards the 2024 Zambia Annual Sports Awards, held last evening at Mulungushi International Conference. Mr. Ming, who also serves as chairman of the Zambia Chinese Association, ZCA, said the donation was inspired by the outstanding performance, passion, and dedication shown by individuals and teams representing Zambia in various sports disciplines. He states that the contribution is part of Higher Bus Zambia's corporate social responsibility efforts to give back the community and support the development of sports in the country. Recently, Higher Bus donated a 40-seater bus to the Olympic Youth Development Center, OYDC, and a 15-seater luxury bus to the Copper Queens as part of its continued support for sports promotion in Zambia. Former Director General of the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supply Agency ZAMSA, Victor Nyasulu, has denied allegations linking him to theft of medical supplies and has issued a 72-hour outnam to Home Affairs Minister Jack Mwimbu to retract a recent statement implicating him. Mr. Nyasulu, who served as ZAMSA chief, has described the accusations as unfounded and indicated his intent to pursue legal action if the minister fails to comply. He alleges that he is also being used as a scapegoat for long-standing systematic issues within the agency. Mr. Mwimbu recently alleged that three former ZAMSA directors, including Nyasulu, violated procurement procedures leading to wasteful expenditure and the purchase of drugs that did not meet the minimum 80% shelf life requirements. Mr. Nyasulu, however, maintains that he is not facing any criminal charges and denies involvement in any misconduct. He further attributes ongoing issues of drug theft to the lack of digitized tracking system and criticized the government's handling of the matter, noting that such problems existed before his tenure. The dispute has sparked public attention, with Nyasulu's ultimatum adding pressure on the Ministry of Home Affairs. As of now, Mr. Mwimbu has not publicly responded to the threat of legal action. We now take our first break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for more news after this.
I've been waiting to hear from you. And I've been watching over you. When you woke up this morning, I was ready to hear from you, but you woke up and chose to devote your time to the multitudes that couldn't be less bothered by your misery. I knew you when you took your first breath. Knew you when no one else did. I stood by you on your first day of school and stood by you when you felt burdened by the troubles of this world. I knew you, my child, and I was there for you through it all. I've been watching over you, and I've been listening as you speak. When you wake up each morning, I wait and listen, hoping you would let me in on the plans you have set for the day. Why won't you just let me in and have me be a part of your life? Because my child, I've been watching.
Papa, I found someone who feels like he's the one.
I thought the Machelas were searching for peace.
What's the son? Hey, one should tell.
Mrs. Majula.
Lillian. You are a naughty wife, of course.
I don't want to ever set my eyes on you.
Is it done?
The deal is done. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Do you think I ever live in the village?
I saw no harm in being friends with him.
And for 200% my boss. I'll stay loyal to the boss and do what needs to be done.
This war began many generations ago.
People speculate that maybe Kasu was trying to get revenge for her husband.
Chongwe constituency has received over 6 million kwacha as part of its 2025 Constituency Development Fund (CDF) allocation from the central government. According to Chongwe Municipal Council Public Relations Officer Peter Sukwa, the funds disbursed by the Ministry of Finance and National Planning will be used to support various community-focused initiatives, including secondary school boarding bursaries, youth and women empowerment, and skills development programs. Mr. Sukwa explains that the council received a total of 6,205,128 kwacha and 20 ngwe between February and April 2025 in 2 separate installments. He notes that the local authority has already facilitated the payment of boarding fees for more than 700 students attending 25 different secondary schools within the constituency. Mr. Sukwa urges the head teachers at institutions that have not yet received payments to submit the required documentation promptly in order to ensure all eligible students receive timely support. He also reassures beneficiaries of the skills development bursaries that disbursements are being finalized and funds will soon be made available. In light of the effective use of the current allocation, the Council has formally requested additional CDF funding for 2025. Mr. Sukwa adds that the proposed funding will support new community development projects such as well as women and youth empowerment through grants and loans. Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri has pledged to work with the Ministry of Health and other relevant bodies to secure permanent position for Rita Lungu, a 25-year-old nurse who has been volunteering at Nimba Urban Clinic for the past 4 years. Mr. Perry praised Ms. Lungu's unwavering dedication to her profession, noting that her recent recognition during international standing services and commitment to patient care. He said her work sets a positive example for others and serves a motivation for health workers to strive for excellence. Mr. Perry also reaffirms the government's commitment to acknowledging and rewarding the efforts of health volunteers, highlighting the recent integration of cholera response volunteers into the public health system under President Hakainde Hichilema's administration. Ms. Lungu expresses gratitude for the recognition and says she remains committed to serving her community with passion, diligence, and integrity. A Material Boys Secondary School teacher, Eliphas Banda, and a revered at Reformed Church of Zambia has pleaded not guilty to charges of stealing over 713,600 kwacha intended for General Certificate of Education (GCE) examination fees. The alleged incident occurred on March 7, 2025. Banda, who served as the school's guidance teacher, was responsible for collecting GCE examination fees from candidates for the 2025 exams. According to reports, Banda handed over his office keys to the night guard and instructed him to give them to his assistant, Rosette Mulambwa. However, the keys were instead given to the deputy head teacher, who later discovered the funds were missing and reported the matter. Banda then reportedly sent a text message to Mulambwa admitting that he had left the money. When the case came up for plea before magistrate Sylvia Munina, Banda pleaded not guilty and applied for bail. Magistrate Munina granted him free bail with 2 sureties of 50,000 kwacha each. The case has been adjourned to May 27, 2025 for the commencement of trial. The Movement for the Restoration of Teachers' Affairs, Zambia, has criticized the Examination Council of Zambia, ECZ, for alleged negligence. Meanwhile, Moreta's Deputy Executive Director for Administration, Pythias Chita, argued that ECZ's oversight failures enabled Banda to access and mismanage the funds. He calls for the creation of district ECZ offices staffed with professional accountants to handle GCE and grade 9 external examination entries. In response to the incident, the school's administration has suspended 6 teachers, including the head teacher, for 7 days to facilitate investigations. We'll be right back. We are now going on a quick break. Stay tuned.
Did you know that mental health conditions are treatable and recovery is possible? Hi, I'm Ngenia Moyo. I'm your host on Let's Talk Mental Health. I invite you all to this show where you freely express yourself, and together we find a solution. For more details, you can contact 0777 93 73 92, and we'll be there to help you find solutions to whatever you're going through.
We are now in international news. Henceforth, in international news, a group of 59 white South Africans arrived in the U.S. where they are to be granted refugee status. President Donald Trump has said the refugee applications for the country's Afrikaner minority had been expedited as they were victims of racial discrimination. The Southern government said the group were not suffering any such persecution that would merit refugee status. The Trump administration has halted all other refugee admissions, including for applications from war zones. Human Rights Watch described the move as cruel, racial twist, saying that thousands of people, many Black and African refugees, had been denied refugee status in the U.S.
These are the first group of white South Africans who've been fast-tracked into refugee status. The Trump administration made a big thing about cracking down on immigration and suspending the refugee resettlement program. So questions are being asked on why has such an exception been made for this group of people?
But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. Farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me.
South Africa's foreign minister says that there has been no land confiscation, and Donald Trump's claims that murders are happening in large numbers is not backed by any police data. Usually the processing of refugees here takes months, even years, but for this group, it didn't take that long. And we spoke to the UNHCR, and ordinarily they would have been involved in the vetting process, but they said not only did they not take place, but they were never approached.
I asked the Deputy Secretary of State why this special treatment.
The President has recognized the dire situation of this particular group of people, and again, they went through the process.
Human Rights Watch say there are thousands of people who meet the threshold for seeking refuge. Black Africans, Afghans, for example, but they have been denied refugee status. They have described this move by the Trump administration to let Afrikaners in as a cruel.
We are still in international news. Australia's Liberal Party has for the first time chosen a woman as its leader, with Susan Ley to take over from Peter Dutton after he had led the party to a bruising election loss. Ley, from the moderate faction of the party, beats Angus Taylor, who ran on a promise to restore conservative values, by 4 votes. At the election on 3rd May, the Liberal National Coalition, currently Australia's main opposition party, suffered what many are calling polarizing leaders campaign policies which alienated women and young people in particular. We take a short break. Stay tuned for sports news.
Papa, I found someone who feels like he's the one.
I thought the Machelas were searching for peace. What's the son? Hey, one should die.
Mrs. Majula.
Lillian, you are not a wife, of course.
I don't want to ever set my eyes on you.
Is it done?
The deal is done. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Do you think you'd ever live in the village?
I saw no harm in being friends with him.
Aim for 100% boss. I'll stay loyal to the boss and do what needs to be done.
This war began many generations ago.
People speculate that maybe Kasura was trying to get revenge for her husband.
We are now in sports news. The Indian Premier League will resume on Saturday after being suspended because of the hostilities between India and neighboring Pakistan. The world's biggest franchise league was halted for 1 week on Friday, but will recommence following the breaking of ceasefire last Saturday. Meanwhile, Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti says he has never been a problem with the club and does not want to make a big deal out of his impending departure for the Brazil national team. The Brazilian Football Confederation, CBF, confirmed the 65-year-old's appointment as head coach on Monday, but there has not been an official announcement from Real Madrid. The Italian's tenure with Brazil will begin on 26th May 2025, the day after Real Madrid faces Real Sociedad in their final match of the 2024 to 2025 season. Sports item brings us to the end of our main news bulletin. But before we go, let's take a quick look at the stories that made headlines. 4 nabbed in Mansa for alleged possession of counterfeit currency. Vice President Nalumango voices concern over persistent poverty amid GDP growth. Higher Bus donates 100,000 to 2024 Zambia Annual Sports Awards. Dozens of white South Africans arrive in US under Trump refugee plan. IPL to resume on Saturday after suspension. Thank you so much for watching. For more news details, visit our Facebook page or our website. Our Facebook page, which is Icu TV, and our website, icutvzm.com.